Welcome back to today's lesson. In our previous lesson, we worked on this particular letter and we promised that we are going to walk through the table part, which is on page 2. So let me just scroll down to page 2. Okay, this is the table part of that letter that we are going to be working on. Okay, so I am going to show you how to put in this table on our letter. So I'm going to start by retrieving our letter. Let me search for that letter. I think it's application for pay as you earn, registration for pay as you earn. Let's see. Okay, let me go to file, open, then I will locate it. I think it was on program, um, application for pay as you. Okay, this is the one we worked on. Alright, this is the letter we worked on last time. Now you can see there is nothing on page 2 because this was where we stopped in our last class. So I'm going to click the end of this letter, and press enter key. Okay, so it jumps to the next page. Now if you notice that it jumped, instead of starting from somewhere here, somewhere around here, it came and started from here. Why? Because of the margin that we applied up here when we were talking about printing on letterhead, and now we have to make space or provision for the letterhead to fit in. So what we can do, if we don't want this particular space here on page 2 to show, this big space here to be there, we want our table to start from. What we can do is to adjust our previous settings. Then we'll go back to the margin. Let's double click on the ruler here. Okay, so I go to, you can see our top margin is 3, so I'm going to reduce it to the normal, which is 1, and just say okay. So it's going to return back to 1. Now what I can now do to make provision for my letterhead is to just look at this page. You can see here is 1 inch. If you come down here, this is another 1 inch, another 1 inch, altogether 3 inch. So I can push my work down to this place to make room for my letterhead, okay, instead of applying it on the margin, so that it will not affect the other end. So I just gauge it. Okay, this is my 2 margin somewhere here, so I can actually return my work a bit step. Okay, so I only pushed it down and I still have space here. If I want to close the back, I can close the back, but this makes room for my letterhead as well, for 3 inch. From, if you look at the ruler, from here to here is 1 inch, this is another 1 inch making 2 inch, another 1 inch making 3 inch. So I've made provision for that. So if I scroll down now, you can see this is the end of the letter we did last time. Now if I come here, you can see my cursor has come to the normal margin of 1 inch, okay, not the where it came to start from, somewhere around here. So now we can insert our table. So what we need to do is go to, and if you listen when I said now we can insert our table, we are going to bring in a table. So we're going to use not the home button but the insert menu. We're going to use the insert menu, and when we click on the insert menu, it comes up with its own corresponding ribbon properties. Okay, so we're going to insert what? Insert table. So we go to table. Okay, we click on this and we can start inserting our table. Now if you look at the table we are trying to insert, we need to know, because a table is made up of rows and columns, we need to know how many rows and how many columns is in the table we are trying to insert. So I will come here and look at how many rows and how many columns. Look at, we have, this is a row, a column, sorry, I need to say column. This is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. So I need 5 columns. And how many rows? Row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need 9 columns and 9 rows, 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so take note, a column starts from top to bottom, which is from top like this to bottom. That's column, another column, another column, another column, another column. While a row starts from left to right, one from left down to right, that's a row. From left down to right, that's another row. Okay, so I need 5 columns, then 8 rows. Okay, so let's go back and go and do right that. So I come to the page. Remember, this is the page we are trying to apply the information. So we come here, I click on insert, then table. Now I need 5 rows. Now look at this. This is a sample of rows and columns. Okay, so now look at this. If I move my mouse on top of this, it shows me, if you look up here, the number value will be changing. Okay, I need, this is 6, this is 5 by 2, that's 5 columns, 2 rows, but I need 8 rows. So I come down, this is giving me 8 rows. Okay, 9 rows. We actually need 9 rows, not 8. Let's go back and see. I think we need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we need 9, not 8. So and go back. So we need 9. So we'll go back to insert, 5 columns. Now if you look at here, it's not up to 9, it's 8. It ends at 8. Okay, so what we do instead, since it's not up to, we come here and say insert table. We'll select the insert table option, then we type the number of columns we want. We want 5 columns, but number of rows 9. So I click on this to increase it to 9 and say okay. See that it automatically creates that for us. Okay, now we need to type our content into this. Okay, we type our content. So when you want to type, you click here, you type. Okay, you click the next one, you type. I'm just doing a demo, just showing you, because I've already typed this. I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so you just type. Okay, so let me remove everything. Okay, that's how you type. You click and type, or also you can click, type whatever you want to type, press your tab, okay, to go to the next cell, type, tab again, go to the next cell, like that. But let me just paste the content of what I want, because I've already typed it. Okay, so you see, that is how you type it. Okay, now I haven't typed the content. Now if you look at it, let's compare it with what we have initially. You will see that these columns, these rows, these columns are bigger than each other. Look at this, is small, this is wider, this is a bit wide, a bit smaller than this, and like that. So we need to make sure we have the same style. So all I need to do now is to adjust my column. So if you look at this, when I'm inside the table, it shows me this demarcations for each of the tables, or each of the columns. Okay, and also you can also see them here right on the rows section too. These are the demarcations for each of the rows. Now I want to adjust this so that it will become, this is abnormally too big. Okay, so what I need to do is to come here. Okay, look at your mouse. When you place it in the demarcation here, can you see it? Okay, you can see change to 2-edge arrow. You click your left arrow, your left button, left mouse, your left click on the mouse, you drag it backward until you are satisfied. You release it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to adjust, I think let's do this one next. Okay, so let's do this. We can reduce this. Good. Then this, let's reduce it. Good. Now this one, we need to increase it. We need to increase it more. Okay, now notice that it has gone outside our margin. So what we need to do, and we see our extra spaces here, so what we can do is to adjust this, or okay, we can adjust our margin here. Okay, also we can also reduce this a bit, because we see our space here. Okay, here we can also reduce a bit. Let's look at our sample table we are working with. Okay, so here we can move this, you can hold this down, move. I won't see that. Now look at this. Okay, we can actually move our table by holding this down. We hold it down, then move it to a bit to the section you want, just move it. Okay, and that is it. Now if you look at here, they call the rows, they are too close. Let's look at our sample. The sample we are working with, they are not as close as what we have. Can you see that? So we can actually adjust it ours. So instead I would do it individually, but if you do it individually, you can adjust like we did on our row column. You can adjust them here. Okay, but doing it individually might not give us the best adjustment. So what we can also do is to select all of this. Okay, you know, I said it earlier that whenever you want to make any changes to any text or anything, you have to first select those texts. So I want to make change to this group of cells. Okay, so I select the cells and then I can right click on it. Okay, so I can go to table properties. Okay, now I can, from the table properties, I can go to row, because this row we want to make changes to. Okay, then I can say I want the row height. Okay, I want to specify a row height. I can click on this, then I can say give me 0.3. let's say it's going to look like. Okay, I think this is fair enough. Okay, this is it. Okay, I hope that is understood. Okay, now let's go back to the sample we are working with and see what other changes we need to make. Now look at the sample, you see that the text, okay, something is even missing, the staff details. Then you can see on top here it is bold. Okay, and there is a total value of their payments here. So let's go back to our sample. Oh, they are already bold, and you remember, even if they are not bold, you know how to bold them. Or you just need to select from here, you click your mouse here. Okay, then you can select from the beginning to the end, then you can bold. Now I have unbold it, so let's bold it. You can select everything, then we bold. Okay, the other way to do it is to come outside, take your mouse outside and click here to select everything for you. You can bold or unbold, whatever the case may be. Okay, now we've done this. What we need to do now, we want to get the total value, and some of us might be thinking, why not use calculator to calculate the total? You can use calculator, but the computer already has inbuilt calculator. Microsoft Word has its own inbuilt calculator. Okay, so you can use the sum function to do this. So we can simply come here. Okay, then we go to our table, our layout. Let's see here. Yeah, we go to our layout menu. Now when you are in the table, you will discover that some additional menu has been added: the design menu, the table design, and the layout menu. Okay, when you are out of the table, you might not see those menu pop up because they are specific to tables. Okay, so let's come here. We want to sum here. The two additional menu comes up. Okay, so we go to our layout. Okay, and click. Make sure that wherever you want to do the calculation, your cursor is already there. So my cursor is already here, so I click on FX, that's formula. Okay, it's saying sum above. The formula is sum above, which means sum from here, sum above text, that is above data, from here up. Okay, it's not going to sum this because it's intelligent to know that this is a text. It can only sum numbers, so it's going to sum from here up and stop here. So I'll just say okay. You see that it automatically does the calculation for me. Now if we look at our example here, you will see that we have something like staff details, which we have not actually inserted here. So what do? Our table is already here, and if you try to click here to type, you will discover that there is no space for you to type because the cursor is not going to stay here, because this is a margin. You cannot type on a margin. Okay, so two ways you can do it. You can first, and you can think of coming here from your page 2 and place your cursor at the end of page 2 or at the end here. When you press enter key, the cursor will keep dragging, pushing it down, the content down, then it helps you to create a space. So you can actually close part of the space because it's too wide. Okay, just use backspace or delete key. Okay, then you type whatever you want to type. Okay, but let me just return back and show you the second method. Let me show you. Let me Ctrl Z. We are back to the way it was initially. Now let me show you the second method. The second method is to either drag this table a bit down, or you find a way of placing your cursor outside of the table, which is somewhere like this. No. Okay, somewhere like this. Sorry, I'm not there yet. You find a way of placing your cursor outside this table, which can be somehow difficult at times. So you can see it's creating another one. It can be somehow difficult at times, but when you get it, you just press your enter key to push it down. Okay, or you just use this, drag it down, drag it down. Okay, see that it creates a space for you. You can now say staff details. Now let's go and look at our sample. Okay, staff details, underline, bold, and there is no space, much space between the table and the text. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, let's first, we want to bold it and underline it, so first select it, bold, underline. Okay, now there's extra gap here we don't want. Okay, so we're going to close this gap by carrying our table again. Okay, to carry it, you left click, hold it down and drag. Okay, so remember that to always save your work, and the shortcut to saving your work is Ctrl+X. Just hold your Control key, CTR on the keyboard, CTR there on the keyboard, and press S. That's Ctrl+X. I think it's simple enough. This is very simple. Okay, so let's stop here for now and we'll proceed in our next lesson.